Hello, we're live.
And we're live.
I'll just set up chat and then I'll let you know what Diggs did. Hello, we're live.
And we're live.
Okay. The the chat goes. So Buffalo ran a play. It wasn't successful, and then or it was. So the clock kept running. Or yeah, it was a Josh Allen run. The clock's running, and Diggs probably had like a 30, 40 yard route down the field. So he was essentially like light jogging back to the line of scrimmage, and so everybody was ready to go, and he just ran like he was like jogging back to the line, and then he walked like the last few yards, and then he
Yeah.
essentially like he got into position, turned around, and the Bills snapped the ball because they were like trying to get the shit going, and they threw a flag on Diggs, and they didn't blow the play down, like they messed up the call. And then there's a pass interference by the other team. Sorry, I forget who it was. Who was just playing? The Chiefs. And because it was a false start with the clock running and with under 2 minutes, they canceled the play. And the Bills lost 10 seconds and lost 5 yards because Diggs was jogging back.
Like what? Dude, it's just those. I don't know.
It
It's
didn't
always
look
the same.
good.
Hello, everyone. Oh, what? Yeah, I'm not even happy that we had Buffalo, to be honest. And like, not just because the game wasn't, I don't know, in our favor, let's say, but the market just moved it. The market, those guys knew that Kansas City was better. I don't like that.
Yeah, I did put one unit down because of pre-market plays, but I definitely wouldn't have taken it today. It's easy to
Jake.
say now that the result is what it was, but
I I can't stand receiver stuff. Like it's annoying. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know what but like no matter what team he's on, unless he's on the Chiefs, like you're gonna lose a good portion of your games. You know, it's just the way things are. And he just complains, man. And he's not the only one. Like it's Bell, all those guys, they're brutal.
what's going on, Untouchable? Congrats, Jamie. That was a nice Chiefs win. What's going on, the champ, Jake Jacobs? And Jackson, yeah, we're a little bit disappointed too, but I was also hoping for that backdoor cover on the last drive, but sometimes it's just not in play.
Yeah.
Saravu
Chiefs were
says, do you think
better.
Dallas is going to win? I think Dallas probably has a slightly better chance of winning this game, but
Yeah.
and sharps are on Dallas, albeit not very much. I'd say Dallas probably has like a 53, 54% chance to win, so not too much value in betting this game. What's going on, Mickey? At least spread or money line. And like Jake said, Diggs obviously had Chiefs minus 5.5, which is
Yeah, standard shit.
it felt like it, but it's tough. They were down 9. I think he was just demoralized, but I don't know. It's disappointing to see. So Cassone's gone 11-1-1 this week, and he's taken over the lead in the picks against the spread leaderboard.
Wow.
And he's only picked 89 games and has 57 wins, so just under 65% against the spread. Very good.
Chiefs victory, absolutely. for Jamie. Ugh. The Chiefs are really they're that good. I think they are.
The Chiefs are great. They're a good team.
They're the best
They're
team.
like offensively, you kind of know what you're going to get and you expect it, but defensively, they've they're living up to it defensively.
Oh, sports guys show his winning percentage is still better. I guess that's true. In the league where they play.
Actually, I bet you this week he didn't go 11-1-1 with whatever picks he made.
I don't. You don't know. I like how he's a meme in our group. You know what I mean? I bet you
Yeah.
he's watched our video and be like, "Man, these guys are morons," and I'm like, yeah, yep." 4Pay. Yeah, absolutely.
I wasn't expecting him to become such a hit on the channel.
I mean, it's funny if anything, really. Yeah, you know what he does? He mixes up like the timing of when he says for pay. It's a nice gimmick. It's a nice touch. I mean, we have Tim Kitzrow, but I mean, he's got that thing.
What's Cliff Kingsbury's? He's 8-12-1 so far in the NFL.
Yeah.
Fleabit, what's going on? Thank you very much.
Yeah. I feel good about my pre-year evaluation of the Cardinals. They're a fun team. Like I think they could make noise against just about anybody, but I mean at the grassroots of it, I don't think they're that strong. So they lost Chandler Jones too, which I mean it's not always a big deal for everyone, but Chandler Jones is a very strong pass rusher. It's gonna impact your win probability for sure.
Nothing wrong with 8-4, Mickey. That's an excellent,
Nothing wrong with
excellent
that.
week.
Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, none of those teams would have covered with teasers. Yikes. He got a black eye this week, eh? And I got to be honest, in gambling, that's my favorite feeling. When you can get a guy like a sucker to bet parlays and teasers. Well, just bring them up. Just bring it. Just type them out. Type them out. Let's Jay. Let's see what the let's let's make this a viewer thing, a viewer wide thing. Best year of the week for me. This is the by the way, everyone. Wook Dog is the original champion. He won the first year that we did it, and then Jake Jacobs.
Untouchable. I don't know if I'm able to see the trade offers. Congrats, Wook Dog. It was our best week too. Which
Well,
is
that's not saying much right now.
it isn't, but it was still a good week.
Anyone have any bets on these games?
Pinnacle has their bet share up, and handicapping market wise, Dallas is 1 point favorite, and 62% of the bets are on the Cowboys. Money line is 44% on Cardinals, 56% on the over.
Ertz is hurt, first of all, Jay. That's step one. Step two, how are you going to fill out your roster that's 4 guys? Like, how are you going to accept that? Like, you have to drop a bunch of players, right? So you might as well just send them the other way. I hate trades like that. So I don't know. That's a no for me. You can't even, like, you're not even going to use any of those guys. It's all fluff. What are you eating there, Big Rye?
Just some cereal.
Some what?
Cereal.
Well, I'm professional. I eat before the broadcast. You're so unprofessional.
I ate before the broadcast, and I'm eating during the broadcast. So,
Dude, I had like a smorgasbord last night, man. I literally ate 4 things of leftovers.
there's sorry, it's 51% of bets are on the Cowboys, 62% of the dollars are on the Cowboys. 25,000 bets. If anything, I would lean slightly towards the Cowboys, but not enough to make a bet.
Yeah, well, you should. No scrubs, absolutely. Those are a bunch of them. No bets 2 all week. Oh, there you go.
One of the toughest things as a gambler is being disciplined.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. We're from Canada, so we're from Vancouver.
And congrats, Casson. 11
Yeah,
one
right
and
on,
1 this
man.
week. First overall. That's no easy feat. 65% for the year. That's very, very impressive. Congrats. Hopefully you've been making a couple dollars off of your plays. Cards start with the ball.
Cassone, overall leader, absolutely. He's getting his due. We've noticed you've participated, Cassone. Don't think that we haven't. It's this is your day. This is your time. You're probably getting a T-shirt, and you're in the overall leader, which is great. Couple of shekels, absolutely. Yeah, who isn't the internet great? You know, we have people all over America tuning in to see a bunch of Canadians. I mean, or 2 Canadians, 2.5. Am I big enough? You got Murray and CD. Yeah, you're probably gonna put some points up, Mickey. I gotta be real here. Dude, they have Daryl Worley starting at corner. Holy jeez.
Well, whatever they've had so far hasn't worked, so this might be better.
Dude, this is interesting. They went for the big shot on that one. Love Claypool. Yeah, I mean, he Claypool grew up probably an hour away from where Big Ryan and I did. So It's pretty neat. Let's put it that way.
So a quick 3-0 for the Cardinals. And yeah, untouchable. Dylan's not going to leave you alone. Just a little bit of attention, and you're going to have him for the rest of the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good to hear, Casson. You made a couple shekels. That's
Always good.
65% is unreal.
Mapletron.
This
Yeah.
is the first time you've watched Cardinals, at least with Hopkins on the team. Makes me sad as a Texans fan. He's had a good start to this season, and it's pretty much what you expect from DeAndre Hopkins. He hasn't skipped a beat,
Leading the
which
league
is
in receiving yards, I believe.
which isn't always the case for when star players move to different teams. So it's nice to see that he's had success. Nick, he's got Marine CD, I'm guessing, in fantasy. Untouchable says Drake looks energized, but I see the praying hands, so we'll see. And Claypool has been one of the better rookie starts to a career as a receiver that I can remember in recent history. Untouchable still in the hunt for a playoff spot. Mapletron is a great nickname. That's true. I know he doesn't like it, but that's the thing about nicknames. You don't get to choose them for yourself.
That's right. Matty Ice doesn't like his, but it is what it is. Wow, nice play by 96.
To be fair, the fat guy was a self. That was your idea, so I thought
that one was my idea. We never really had any other. Actually, I named us both.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a funny name, Big Ryan the Fat Guy. No one's ever called me Fat Guy in real life, but I mean, I had to take a hard look at myself. I was skinny most of my life, so I guess it was self-deprecation. It hasn't worked.
Whereas my name was spot on.
Yeah. Unless you're Dion, yeah. Or no, Primetime. Yeah, he named himself Primetime. Yeah, you're right. I generally like the Browns, Casson. So does Big Rye, and the Raiders. We follow really all of them, right? We're just fans of the league more than anything. I do have a soft spot for the Browns and the Raiders. Big Rye has one for the Rams a little bit too, but it's nothing. We're not diehards or anything. I have a lot of Browns stuff and Raiders stuff, but it's just more fashion than anything, if you can call it fashion. Fashion as a word, not as like a positive. No, we definitely aren't Seahawks fans.
No.
Seahawks. The reason we don't like them is it's such a bandwagon thing around here every time.
I'd say for teams that we follow, at least I tend to watch quite often, are obviously the Browns, Chiefs, Steelers. I tend to find myself watching those games, but I'm a fan of every team, which sounds ridiculous, but we're kind of fans of the league. We're fans of whatever we're betting on that week.
Yeah, more or
really
less.
What it is. Jumping on any of the next week lines. We haven't looked at the next week lines yet together.
We've done it in separate. I think you already missed the boat.
The Giants look nice on Thursday, but like I said, I think the real value has been lost because they opened at 6.5. They're down to 4.
You could have got Packers were a nice play, I think, at -2.5, and now that's already moved. Yeah, Russell Wilson's the best player in the league, I think. It's just annoying because it's like every speck of luck seems to go their way.
There might be some value taking Panthers early at 7.5. Be better to get them at 7.5 than 7 or lower. There's nothing like out of this world. Just looking over the
No.
lines, I'd say wait on it, Jackson.
I like when Cassone just said something that makes me happy doing this. Panthers getting 7.5 seems like a lot of points. It When people start saying that, I'm like, okay, at least they're open to it, because it's hard to take the bad, like convince people to take a bad team. You know what I mean, right? Not that the Panthers are a bad team, but take the worst team. But points are generally the way to go in sports betting. They really are. I'm dropping down on week 7 here. Yeah, Panthers 7.5 looks great. It's minus 109 at Penny. That hurts its value a bit. I would like it at like minus 104. But this, I might jump on this right now. So this is pretty good.
If your book has it at 8.5, you might be able to. Well, depending on the juice, see where the juice is at. But you could always
You
tease
could
it down to 7.5, and
reverse tease. We do that. We sell points sometimes. So
nice to see Leighton Vander Esch back playing. Sam with a college football play. Nice to see you, Sam. Panthers play the Saints, and the Panthers are on the road. Boys, we may have been underselling the Bears. At the start of last stream, Fat Guy and I were talking about the Bears, and we were saying, has there been a quieter 5-1 team to start a season than the Bears?
the line moved though, man. You could have got Bears +7. That would have been the play. It's 5.5 now. It's whatever. I don't even care. That sounds so bad, but like it's like I feel jilted. It's gonna be hard doing like with the video. There's so many lines that moved against it, so some of these are gonna be coin flips. Here we go, Jackson. I'll move the line to 2.5 and take the Saints. Yeah, the god of betting would say that.
Yeah.
Raiders into the tough schedule in the league. They have a tough schedule going forward too, man. Raiders, it's not been good for as far as schedule wise. I think they're a decent team. Yeah, it moves in the different direction, but I mean it's I think the lines have all moved against what we would have picked had we done the video last night, but we got to stay true. You know, we got to brave the elements.
Zivono said, I think anytime you can get more than 7 points, it's usually a bet. Unless it's a really good team against a really bad team, then the line is usually much higher.
Generally, like
there's rare
generally
cases.
speaking.
There's rare cases where a team is, I guess, better or worse than people think. Like what's interesting about that Bears-Rams game is that right now only 20% of bettors are on the Rams, 20% of dollars are on the Rams. They brought that line down so you can tell they're trying to get more people on the Rams, but like if that line goes back up to 7 and they keep those percentages, those like we just talked about maybe taking the Bears, and maybe the Bears
Very
are good,
strong
like
plan, the Bears.
but market wise, that's a game I could see where if it stayed at 20% of bets, but the line was 7.5, like you could make a case for taking the Rams.
I like what Jackson said. I was just gonna say that. I like the Raiders a little bit to win, and 3.5. It's just a beautiful line. I like their chance. Don't forget, Raiders had a bye. They're coming off a win from the Chiefs. I don't think that line is gonna move in like beyond 3.5, just because eventually, like when the public takes a hard look at it, they'll go, "Oh, they beat the Chiefs and they have a bye." I think it'd even come down. So I think this is a reasonable Raiders entry point, despite the impressive win the Bucs had on the weekend. Tampa is for real. Are they really that much better than the Raiders? I can't say. And don't forget, better than them at this point in time. Also, there's a little bit. The Bucks acquired Steve McClendon from the Jets. It's an interior lineman. Probably only adds half a percentage of win probability, but that is something. Just
It's a replacement for Vita Vea. So
yes,
it's just
exactly.
unfortunate that he got injured, but they need more
Broke his
depth
leg.
inside. The thing with Tampa is because they just came off such a big impressive win, it's going to be easy to take really any team in any line. Like it sounds strange, and I really think Derek Carr is not the answer long term for the Raiders. So
No, Zitvono. It's usually the same. The juice for money line and point spreads. There's a conversion chart. We had to make our own. I think I made it this summer. So there are times where the markets are like a little bit lopsided, and you can just take the money line, and you'll get like an extra half a percent. But I mean, but you are also risking higher variance, obviously, when you take money line in comparison to spread. So it's about the same. It's about the same. There's sometimes a little bit more. I want to find. I don't have the chart in front of me. If I look through our Google Sheets, I'm sure I could find it.
well, the money line percentages are easy to calculate because you can calculate those on your own. It's knowing how much a spread is worth. That's the issue, and then putting the juice against the spread. So those are calculations where if you're tracking your own data, you'd be able to figure out what's better value, taking the money line or the spread. But you really just gotta take the time and figure out where it is.
It'll be in that book I've been writing very, very slowly. There, I got a good jump in the beginning. It's getting tougher now because the theory, the easy stuff is out of the way, and the theory's like in my face. There'll be conversion charts for it, so or all sorts of charts for that type of thing. Um, Hold on, as we've been talking, it's 0-0 midway through the first quarter. That's I mean, I would have bet that that wouldn't have happened, especially considering these two teams as of late.
I don't know why Isabella stopped.
The Raiders line go to 3.5. I think it has in some places, or three. It was 2.5 earlier in the day.
It's
And
showing 2.5 as the best line at well, it says it's three at for Buccaneers at Bet 365.
yeah, but that's three at plus 100.
I
So
honestly
that would mean
I don't see that line getting to 3.5, but
I thought it already did.
I'll
Oh,
just check.
jeez, I don't. Oh, I hope it went.
I'm just gonna check the lines I can see for.
I'm
Oh,
looking
they
at it
don't.
says 2.5 everywhere. 2.5 plus 101 at Penny right now. Yeah. Now I'm not gonna even get to bet really. Maybe a money line play. We'll see. That sucks. Zivone, I've seen some crazy juice numbers for in game. It's like minus 2,000 on one side and plus 1,000 on another. Yeah, that's totally. That's why in-game betting is generally there's like a bunch of reasons not to do it. One, they can charge as much juice as they want, especially on that long shot stuff. Um, uh, Number two is there's a holding period. So if you do a bet in between a play, even if because they got burned in the early going because people were at the games texting other people, um, and those people like that private messaging other people that were making bets instantly, like they were like it was coded, like they would message somebody else, and then a script would make the bet automatically rather than someone at the end of the computer. So those people burned them because they were at the game, so they were about 6 seconds ahead of those. So then they instituted a holding period. So now they can hold and reject the bet. So they can do really shady things like, i.e., like just guaranteeing themselves a win, right? That's if you do it at impromptu times. If you do it in between quarter and in between half, you can avoid that possibility of shadiness. I'm not saying Pinnacle would do something like that, although I've never bet in game with Pinnacle, so I don't even know if they do it. To be honest, I would imagine that they do. But regardless, it's a pretty square endeavor. And it's something that fascinates a lot of people. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we might have to, Jackson. I don't want to take -1-3. I don't want to take -3 for the Raiders at like -115 or 119. I'll just take them to win then. Hello, Dylan Clark, AP
Hey,
Indy. We
Dylan.
got a full
Hey,
crew.
Indy. All right, Dallas has the ball on first down here. Dalton pulls it down and throws a terrible
Wow.
pass that's dropped by Hicks.
Holy, was that a bad pass? Andy Dalton getting pretty lucky here, laughing. I mean, okay. Oh, that was so close. I hate when people chew gum when they're playing, and there Andy Dalton is doing it. Really, Dallas? Like, these are some things that drive me nuts. Dallas, you're already bad right now. Procedure penalties.
I think that because the public is probably higher on Tampa Bay than when the season started, that's most likely why that line's moved. I wouldn't
Well,
put
it
too
depends
much
what
into.
Big Ride depends what point in the season. When they got Brady, the public was higher on Tampa Bay than almost any team because their Super Bowl future moved from 45 or 50 to 1 down to 8. And then it subsided a little bit after that Monday night that they lost to the Saints. So the reason there's a 4-point turnaround, I mean, usually pros only bet right in the beginning, but I think I don't know, that might have been a statement game. Maybe people are overvaluing that one game against Green Bay. They're also getting better. Fitzmagic's the only guy that gets a pass, Jay. This has just been a hilarity of errors for the Cowboys, who I'm surprised haven't been more of a run-based team, considering their strength in the run game. I like what Jackson says. That's a good way of putting it. Feel very similar in a lot of spots. Titans +2 right now. Feels like you should take the underback no matter who it is. Basically a pick 'em. Yeah, you would just take the money line then at forfeit the 2 points. Generally speaking, it's starting to trend a little bit different because of the Pat missing, which is made 2.5 a bit more interesting of a line rather than 3. I'm coming around to that a bit more. Like Titans money line at home doesn't seem unreal. Andy Dalton will crush your bankroll. I mean, maybe this game's not over. It's 0-0.
Well,
If you
that's why
got
I
the
thought.
best line, they're 3-point dogs.
Yeah, like I thought this game was going to be 3 or more points for Arizona, but surprisingly, people are all on Dallas. It's been a good start for the under.
Well, did it move? Trump was plus 191 on Pinnacle at one point. I'm curious if that came down. Let me look on my phone. It's already up there. So we're Canadian. We can look at politics through a different lens. He's 167 right now, so I would say pass. That's not a good enough line. Yeah, I got him at 149 a few months ago, but I'm kind of regretting it now. I thought it would fluctuate the other way, but whatever. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
So this is
It
gonna be
makes
the
sense. That makes sense. I think early pros are probably big on Denver. It makes sense because Denver versus Chiefs is generally it's generally a pros versus Joes. Denver is an ugly team. It is an ugly team, but they can cover. I learned that the hard way this weekend. Even though Big Ry had money on it, I meant it in the contest. Oh, this has been a defensive game, kind of. Not much time has been taken off the clock, though. What a hit from 37, eh?
yeah
I
that
can't believe
was
Drake didn't fall backwards.
big collision between Wilson and Drake.
Denver is a physical football team. Yeah, caps lock. With these mitts, I tend to tap it a bit myself. I just realized, is QWERTY the most perfect invention ever? The QWERTY keyboard? Because it just makes sense, the whole thing. Even though when you're a kid, you think it's so confusing. Why would all the letters be in these weird jumbled positions? But I guess as language changes, the keyboard should be as well. This has been an offensive game. Yeah,
It's gonna be
yeah,
third
yeah.
and 7 for the Cardinals. At
As far as
midfield.
procedure, it has. Never been Jackson. Sounds like Denver would be a fun party place too.
Fall start's gonna push this back to third and 12.
Justin Pugh. He's a first rounder with the Giants. Yeah, he was.
I'm not sure why we need a full face cam for referees.
Well, they're ready for their close up, Mr. DeMille.
We get
Ooh.
the Andy Reid-esque wide receiver screen down the field for DeAndre Hopkins. But there's a flag
without
on
a
the
flag,
play.
though.
It's probably going to be a hold on one of the receivers. So Fitzgerald probably made contact before the ball was caught. This is really one of those bang-bang plays. But can't be making contact like that before Hopkins gets the ball. Sam doesn't like the call.
Hold on.
So now we have a third and 22. Dylan loves those bang-bang plays. Welcome, Dylan. Chase Edmonds with the draw. For no gain, we're going to get a punt for the Cardinals. Watching this game is like watching paint dry. It's been some good plays defensively. He's learning, Mickey. Kingsbury's been impressing you, Jackson?
Yeah, I didn't know that. It's hard to get her to. She likes me a lot though, probably because I don't give her that much attention. Moved to Ireland for college. It's so awesome. Is Cassone a runaway this week at 11-1-1?
There's still 2 people with 10 wins, so we'd have to check to see.
Who's Cassone on? Like,
I'll create a sheet so we can all see and break it down.
I mean, you could get him. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. Untouchable. Right on, Cassone. Good luck. He is most certainly closer to Canadian Maple. You have to go to Quebec, though, Mickey. I don't know if you're prepared for that. Such a bizarre game so far.
So it's between Cassone and Billy 369. And Cassone has the over-under of 49, and Billy's got it at 54.
Missouri, Jackson. Oh, Mississippi. My mistake. Oh, and then we got a Quebecer here as well.
Jean-Guy, welcome. Jean-Guy Wah, welcome to chat.
Oh, the Mandalorian sneak peek. There you go.
Dylan, I think you should advertise for us on Google and Facebook.
Trying to keep this cat from climbing on my neck. In Shaq Cassone, you most certainly are. Sorry, the game's already started, Madcapper. I believe that the door has been closed. Bonjour, Sean.
Untouchable. What's that 12-1 draw? Oh,
It's my girlfriend's cat. Its name is Cat, and it doesn't have one.
Are you talking about that 3rd and long play for Arizona?
Oh, this has been just a brutal start to any game. Think Arizona will win? That's as good as any, though. Let's be honest. It's holding anyways. I would imagine, Mickey, it'd be Gene Guy Roy. Tie game is 12-1. Thank you for an interesting tidbit.
Oh, a draw in this game would be 12-1.
What do you
I
think
don't
it should be, Big Rye? What would you take it at? I'd take it at 25,
at
not
20
12.
for this game to end in a tie.
Yeah.
It would have to be like 200-1.
200? Nah.
There's like one or two games a year that finish in a tie.
Yeah, I guess maybe you're right.
12-1. That means there'd be more than a tie a week. It's like two.
It's true, but I mean, just considering there's a little added juice. That's a good point. So what about 100? 100-1.
Not a chance. I wouldn't take it at 100-1 either.
My money's on 0-0. Well, the way it's been going.
There's a nicely executed play from the Cowboys.
I like Michael Gallup. I think he's better than Amari Cooper.
The Jets-Dolphin game had an interesting thing happen. They almost were the first game in 30 years to not have a conversion on third down.
Big run for Elliott. Between both teams, Big Rye, or just the Jets?
Both teams. I think the Jets
Really?
picked up a third down conversion on like late in the fourth quarter.
I'm hoping a 6-1 game happens sometime in my life. Probably will never happen, but it's technically possible. How is a 6-1 game possible? How do you get 1 point? You can't. You need a rouge in the CFL, but
He beat that dude.
I think it'll triumph for the Jets. I don't know your physical condition, Capper, but it can't be that much worse. I mean, there's an opening at defensive tackle. I can tell you that much.
If they're trying
Jay
to
with a spoil, I don't know. Wow. Elliott fantasy players are going to have negative points here at a -2 with an Elliott fumble, it looks like. Wow.
who made that play on defense? They did a good job.
Wow.
Buda Baker.
Buda Baker's having an incredible season. 2 in a row.
I don't get why. Like, it's probably just I'm underestimating the strength of a player like Buda Baker, but when you see like him and a lineman tied up, like why isn't that lineman just driving him to the ground?
I don't know. And like forcefully, like so it's a 1 point so it's not worth 2, Jackson? I want to see that play happen. How disabled, Mad Capper? I think the Jets are still interested.
I think it would help them with their tank. That's for sure. And that's a nice tidbit, Jackson. I didn't know that could happen.
You could email us beforehand, Mad Capper, and we might entertain it. We can't do it all the time because then it would just become cumbersome going forward. But there's a time. Thank
Once
you,
the
Dylan.
game starts, you can't change it.
Yeah.
What's going on, Donnie? Big Dick Donnie in the house.
Trying to walk up here and I gave her a treat. Just tried again. I just put her down and petted her.
With the Cardinals Cowboys, the juice right now live is minus 117, minus 116.
I already gave her 3.
Third and 10 for the Cardinals.
Man, he is an agile runner. Holy.
Yep.
Holy. We had an early line on the Bills, and that didn't cover clearly. But that was about it. I wasn't happy with it, though. I got to be honest. Oh.
How about for you,
I'm
Donnie?
surprised they don't. Go ahead.
Just asking Donnie what his plays were, too.
I'm surprised they don't do more read options. Maybe because Murray's a smaller guy, so there's more risk involved, I'd imagine, than Cam Newton, where it's, I don't know, kind of minimal, but it's piling up for him, though. I didn't know that rule, Jackson. I didn't know Dylan was big into the rules either. Oh. Almost a pass defended, but not quite. Oh, 2 swats. It's nice to see Vander Esch back. And Jalen Smith, best running back combo. Oh, he went for the ball, 96 there. Neville Gallimore. Are you guys bringing the negotiating table here? I don't think he's too stubborn. Some of those offers weren't very good, Dylan.
Scoreless first quarter with Cardinals driving. Oh my goodness.
Dylan making more fans, apparently.
AP Indy said could get some value on Jets, like Big Rise said. Now that Gase is fired, accountability / effort will go up since now everyone on the
official?
team playing for job / paycheck. I didn't know that Gase got fired.
I checked earlier today, but I didn't see it.
It doesn't look like there hasn't been any announcements yet that he's been fired, so he's still the head coach of the Jets.
Oh, you did it in Madden? That's rad. even though Madden, I think the new Maddens are completely garbage. I got to be real here. The I like that they at least put that into the game.
Matt Capper said, "Can someone teach me to straight bet?" That's something that comes with the discipline of gambling on sports. Is learning when to make your plays and what is a good bet. Yeah, the Jets roster, they definitely need a lot more depth than what they have. Could we name some teams we'd take now on the spread? We're going to be doing our video in a few hours, so it'll be out tomorrow morning, and that'll highlight who we like. We mentioned a couple games earlier, but there's nothing set in stone yet.
Yeah, we're gonna do some more homework before. Like I've done some already, but in New York, no word on Gase getting fired. Well, there it is.
Dylan claiming his fantasy team is the best in the world. Don't
Yeah, probably.
get your news from Instagram. Flacco is worst quarterback in NFL. Don't back the Jets. Can't wait to beat Jameson. Griffith. Gase has not been fired yet. My bad. Never mind then. I'm afraid Jets line won't be inflated until then. Jackson said, "What's straight betting?" Casson said, "In New York, no word on Gase being fired." Mad Capper said, "Jets need weapons, not Trevor." Untouchable says he loves the Eagles on Thursday. And a drop from Kenyon Drake on a 3rd-and-1 bootleg. He took his helmet off. Hopkins is signaling to go for it. Murray looks like he wants to go for it. It's a bad drop from Drake.
It was a bad drop.
Josh Allen said, "I love them picks. Some hits, some misses. I feel dumb now taking the Steelers for big money and Pats lose."
Well,
Hurts.
I mean, you won with the Steelers if you took them for big money. They cleaned out the Browns. So you get the result you want. We got a 4th down here.
Murray
I love it.
keeps.
I love that play call so much.
That tricked me. I actually thought Drake had the ball. Or Chase Edmonds, sorry. Murray looks fast. Like Jaylen Brown had an angle on him and couldn't catch him.
Jalen
Smith, sorry. Well, goal to go. This looks like statistically it should be a touchdown for the Cardinals.
78 fired up. Alden Smith mouth breathing. Not a good sign.
Kirk's going to walk. He
Kirk
goes into the end
touchdown.
zone untouched.
I don't remember seeing this many reverses in NFL football since I've been watching. I wouldn't have guessed him too, of all people. I guess you're not doing this with Hopkins or Fitzgerald or something like that. I don't think you get points for Murray Hill, Mickey.
Yeah, that's a pass for Murray.
Oh, the pitch forward is a pass.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that was considered a run.
No, anything those shovel passes forward are always considered a touchdown for the quarterback.
It's nice.
If the Cowboys lose tonight, the best team in the NFC is going to be 2-4.
Who is it?
Must be the Cowboys.
No, they don't have 2 wins.
I think they're 2-3. It said.
No. Oh, they only beat Atlanta.
Oh, let's see. Didn't they beat
Oh,
the
the Giants. Yeah, they beat the Giants. Yeah. Oh, Michigan. There you go. I got it's some watered down apple cider. I'm a big fan right now. I had to go with my girlfriend's nieces and nephews to nieces and nephew to like a pumpkin patch, and they sold cider there, so I bought a bunch because I really like it. It's nice. It almost feel better after you have it too. I was a Tropicana guy, but I'm gonna drop that for cider, I think. Miami is ahead of the Pats in standings in October for the first time since 2008. Yeah, that was didn't three teams go 11-5 and the Pats missed out? That was unreal.
The Dolphins have a plus 47 point differential.
That's like hilarious. It's not chocolate milk, Dylan. I don't mind the Avalon ones. You guys don't know what Avalon is. It's like a fancy glass jar. It's supposed to be like the fancy expensive milk. I don't mind the chocolate milk from that, but that would be it. Sam's wondering if we have a any plays for the World Series. I know I don't. I don't think Big Rye does either, but
I don't, but I definitely like for the Rays to win their first World Series. It seems like Dodgers are going to be favored, at least for the first game. Dodgers are minus 206 to win the series. Sam, who do you like for World Series?
oh,
Would you say that the Dodgers winning the series would be like 60 plus percent?
Zach Martin's hurt now. That Cowboys line is a shell of itself. No, I did not, Mickey. From Mickey Hill, the Jag used a kicker who had never attempted a field goal in a competitive football game before. Who was it? I gotta look this up.
Oh, fumble from Elliott. I saw that kicker, Mickey, and I didn't recognize him. And I believe at least he made one of his kicks, but it definitely looked like a wobbler. Like it wasn't. It didn't look right. It didn't look like an NFL kicker. Yeah, that's 2 lost fumbles for Elliott tonight.
That is not good.
Yeah, anytime you can have a essentially a 2-1 favorite at plus 300, that's pretty damn nice. You could definitely hedge on the Rays if you wanted to, but it's probably no need to. Elliott looks stoic after that fumble. One of his linemen is telling him to shake it off, but he won't even look at him. The thing
Oh,
with Elliott is I find like Elliott has these games where he looks very, very disinterested.
I feel like a lot of guys are disinterested in football because they're maybe their outside lives are so interesting, much like Le'Veon Bell, for instance.
The most likely result, according to Pinnacle's exact results, is the Dodgers to win in 5 games.
So this guy John Brown, I don't even know who he is. He's the kicker for the Jags in this game. I guess the backup was hurt because I know Lambeau was hurt. Very interesting.
Dak is that team's glue. So I was surprised by the line. And if I was going to bet this game, I was leaning towards Dallas because of the market plays, but like I said at the start of the week, I was surprised this game wasn't Cardinals by 3 or more.
Hard to call Dak trash.
Oh, Dak's pretty damn good. I know that one guy is a Giants fan, so
Yeah, I guess. Fitzgerald is such a pro. This is the second time tonight where he's been very aware of where the first down marker is and reached to get it. What a pro, man.
John Stacy said he'd rather be kicking it with Ricky Waters.
Yeah, yeah.
Dak's only good for padding his stats in the fourth quarter. Jake Jacobs call him DAL ass. Damn, Dylan get a new handle. I think Tampa can win more than one against the Dodgers. Both of those teams have a title drought, right? It looked like Murray was just short.
Just short. His feet move so quick. I don't know if he's necessarily fast, but he is very quick. Yes, there is a difference.
I think Dak, Kyler, Watson, and Allen are all fairly close. I'd say Dak still has the edge on those 4 guys. I think Allen's played better this season, but I think Kyler Murray has a pretty high ceiling. The interesting thing with Kyler Murray is like because of his size, I feel like he's an injury away from being in a lot of trouble. Whereas I could see Allen playing for the next 15 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Watson's shown some highs, some lows, but still a pretty good quarterback.
Oh, there's Jason getting his Drake touchdown.
That's good for me as well. Color small, so his feet move quick like cartoon characters with short legs. Think of Stewie from Family Guy or Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob. It's good insight, that one guy. I like that. Double fudge yum. Jackson asked Mickey if he bet on this. Mickey didn't. Mickey only made 2 plays this week. Untouchable and Mickey, are you guys going up against each other in fantasy? Oh, Dylan dropped. He dropped Rashad Penny this week, today.
I don't blame him.
The Carroll Baskin Tigers need a big performance from DeAndre Hopkins and Ezekiel Elliott.
I think this ship sailed on Elliott, though. I got to be real.
No, I don't think so.
I could even see him turn into Tony Pollard the way this game has gone.
It is close. So Mickey's down 9, but he has Kyler Murray and CeeDee Lamb. And Untouchable has Kenyon Drake. So Mickey Hill still is favored at 65%, but we're going to continue watching this as the game goes along. Dylan put up 152 fantasy points this week.
I mean,
thanks to Derrick Henry and Justin Jefferson. Now I know why he's saying he has the best team in the world. He even had Chase Claypool on the bench.
Well, there you go. He's very confident. Very confident.
His team's not bad. I think Dylan has a reason to be excited. Patrick Mahomes, Derrick Henry, James Conner, Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, Robert Tonyan, James Robinson, Justin Tucker, Ertz, who just got hurt, Chase Claypool.
He played the football team defense. Where are the Saints, though? I don't see any.
He's trying to win.
Wow. Oh, Robert Tonyan didn't get the performance that he thought.
Kyler needs to stop hogging the ball. Do you think the Giants' very inept offense will get better? For them, it's mostly offensive line play. I think if the offensive line play is strong, then Daniel Jones has a lot of potential to be a good quarterback. John Stacy says he's cursed in the chase for Daniel.
He's like in last place, so yeah.
Jackson, LOL, I had one of the worst fantasy weeks I've ever had this week, although Murray might clean it up. A bit for me, the guy I'm playing out up a ton of points. He put up a ton of points, so oh Lord, don't feed his ego. Someone laid $500 on Andy Dalton MVP.
It's a bad start, let's put it that way, because they got to win out pretty much.
What would you have to do to be a quarterback that comes in like week 6, week 7 to win MVP? Like, would he have to go flawless the rest of the year?
Yeah. Tannehill was pretty close in my estimation last year. Like, he wasn't that far away.
Yeah, I guess.
They just panned to Elliott on the bench there.
Untouchable said Dylan's team is how it is because he had the first waiver picks the first few weeks.
Yeah, he did. He did. It's true.
John Stacy said he tried to send me Justin Jefferson, Claypool, Ertz, and Herbert for Hopkins, and he didn't bite. Shake your head. The thing that's tough with that is that the thing you don't realize is like you have to drop 3 or 4 other players that I'm sure a lot of other people would like to have too.
Elliott looks like he's benched here, and Pollard just had a great run, which I can't imagine helping Elliott's case.
I highly doubt that he's benched. Like, he might be out for the series, but I don't see him not playing the rest of the game.
Maybe not the rest. Yeah, but he might have taken the back seat, though. It's possible, Big Rye. It's very possible.
Oh,
what a
Dalton
sack.
didn't even see him coming. And another huge play by Buda Baker, who has had a spectacular start to this defensive-oriented game. Is this a coaching issue already for Dallas? Seems pretty early to point the finger, but the D coordinator is yikes. Uh, I think they went from bad coaching to bad coaching, going from Garrett to McCarthy. To see what Green Bay has done without McCarthy, I don't know if he was the right hire. But Mickey made good points last time where he was saying that Jerry Jones just wants a yes man, and I think Mike McCarthy might just be another yes man.
True.
Mickey Hill said they benched Zeke. Well. Yeah, that was a nice play. AP Indy said your best player gives away 2 fumbles when you're already on the backup quarterback. Bench him? ? To me, he just doesn't look in like the right frame of mind to play. Like it seems like a sports psychology type of thing where he just doesn't seem interested in playing tonight. I'm sure Elliott's going to get back in there. I don't think he's going to do that. Josh Allen said probably not bench. They play 4 to 5 set. Haha, good. It's unacceptable to be honest. Rest of the half. Buddha, 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 Buddha rocking everywhere. You should have bid, John. That was a good trade for you considering it would have gave you a few upgrades. Dylan talking trash now about not taking his trades.
That's his honest opinion. This is an interesting drive, uneven drive for the Cowboys where it's going. Also, Dylan he reneged.
Ah, I see. Dylan's just a tease. Can't be teasing dudes in chat, Dylan.
Andy acting like CD has a VD. Well, considering how he reacted to his girlfriend during the draft, it's possible.
Fumbling is about giving a shit. Nothing to do with luck or anything. It's entirely about discipline. When your job is running back, take a seat, Zeke.
I mean, 2 times, yeah. Well, we're gonna have to come from behind here, Jackson. So let's see. Well, I think Elliott's in now. Yeah, there you go. That looked weird too. I don't know. That was designed to get him the ball. Maybe he was expecting it later. I don't know.
Well, the ball was tipped.
No, I get you, but I'm just saying how he ran his route looked weird.
Yeah. I think he's just reading too much into it at that point.
I don't know. What kind of play calls are these? Is this an illegal contact flag on the Cardinals? That would really help the Cowboys right now.
Looks like it's on the Cowboys, so it's probably going to get declined. And
Replay, all right.
They accepted that?
Yes.
I guess they might be on fringe field goal range. Well, they're in zone.
Yikes.
If the Cowboys can't establish the run, there's not a lot to like about this offense with Dalton just dropping back.
Especially when they're down, like they don't have to abandon it, but if it's still this scoreline in the second half, it's still a bit tougher. Oh, not really a great net gain on the punt for the Cowboys. I think Untouchable Jay is going to get a bunch of Drake here. It would make sense at least.
Anyone in the Boston Bastard Leagues want Calvin Ridley?
Let me take a look here.
Fat guy, your wideouts are Devontae Parker, Randall Cobb, John
They
Brown.
sure are. Yep,
That's it.
that's it. I don't value the wide receiver position in fantasy.
I've got Deebo Samuel, Travis Fulham, Mike Williams, and Henry Ruggs. I think I'm good with who I got.
I got Gurley, Elliott, David Johnson, David Montgomery. Probably going to drop John Brown after this game. I got Eckler, too, on the way.
John Brown went without a reception today. That's 2 games with no receptions. That's weird for John Brown.
They barely got any passing yards this game, though.
The weather was interesting for that last game. It really put a damper on both teams offensively. I'm going to have a plethora of running backs in the Boston Bastard League. McCaffrey, Le'Veon Bell, Kareem Hunt, Myles Gaskin, Antonio Gibson, Melvin Gordon, Leonard Fournette, James White.
Not all of those are amazing. I'll tell you what. I think I'm going to lose on this trade, but I'm willing to do it. Jackson, I'll send you... It's a good schedule going forward. I'll send you David Montgomery. It's a one-time thing, final offer.
That's pretty good value to get David Montgomery. Oh, my. This is a big play for Mickey Hill.
Wow.
F the contest. That was a nice
Wow, what a
catch from
catch.
Kirk. Cassone says game over. The Indianapolis Colts went down 21-0 this week and came back to win, so
Jake Jacobs. No. Jake McCarthy and Stephon Diggs had a 2-game parlay. They put their game checks on it. They had Chiefs -5.5 and Cardinals money line. All right, just send it to me now, Jackson, and I'll accept. I think it's fair. It's. I actually think you win a little bit, but I'm willing to take it just because I have a lot at running back, and I'm gonna go for it. Especially because I like that I have Austin Eckler, and he's got to be coming back soon, I would imagine.
Dak just got a contract.
Wow, Michigan needed needed a big game from Kirk, and boy has he got one.
Everybody's eating except for Zeke and Hopkins. That's right. Still lots of game for both those guys to get points, though.
Yeah, Dylan, you're looking good so far. Holy, does Kirk have a bad hairline? I've seen some bad ones, but that's Hall of Fame.
I thought we'd see Elliott do the spoon feeding after gaining positive yardage.
Yeah, I think we do, Jackson. I just value the running back position a lot more, but I'm willing to take some sort of gamble. I kind of like Ridley, so he's a viable WR1.
That's
Wow,
a good point, Indy.
WR 1.5. Well, Cliff's not lighting the world on fire here, but it's a lot better than what he has. Yes, there you go. That's the philosophy, Indy. That's exactly what it is.
The Zeke fumbles definitely flipped the script on this game. Usually losing teams average 2 turnovers a game, so 2 turnovers in the first half for the Cowboys isn't going to cut it. And don't forget, Dalton laid one in the hands of in Hicks's arms, and he couldn't make the grab. So it hasn't been good from this Dallas Cowboys offense.
Big run from Elliott.
It's nice to see so many younger coaches having success in the league. I'm thinking of the Cardinals. I know it's not gangbusters, but it's still pretty successful. The Packers and their coach, as well as the Rams with McVay.
There we go. Trade accepted.
Yeah, Zach Taylor's another one who he hasn't been getting the wins, but like I feel like he's gonna have progression with Burrow. I feel like
Burrow's
he's gonna
gonna
make
be
Burrow
good.
a better player.
Burrow's already better than a lot of I think Burrow's better than Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, and that's I agree with you, and that's more of a slight on Mayfield than a compliment to Burrow, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I guess
I
he's
feel the
not as
same way.
talented.
I feel the same way about Derek Carr, about
I don't know if Burrow's
Sam
quite better
Darnold.
than Derek Carr. You hate on Derek Carr the most, though.
all I know is if Burrow was the starting quarterback in Las Vegas right now, I'd be very excited about that team.
Yeah, that's true. I already am, though. I think they have enough picks. They're interesting. They're one of the teams of the future, I think I'd mention. I think Carolina is, too, really. I really do.
Another younger coach. I don't know the age of the Panthers coach. Matt Rule.
Matt Rule.
I got to get better with these coaches' names.
Well, they switch a lot, so you do have some sort of grace, period.
Matt Rule's 45. The dudes who grew up playing Madden, so basically us. It's kind of true. Matt Capper said, "Yeah, Faker cost me $3,000 yesterday." Ugh. Yeah,
Well,
that
it
sucks.
happens.
Josh Allen said it's crazy the number of 1-2 QBs in the 2015 draft and just some backups now. I'm just trying to pull up who was in that 2015 draft. Jameis Winston, Mariota.
Yep. Both backups.
That's why it's never a certainty. Garrett Grayson.
I thought Garrett Grayson was good. I really did. Like when I watched him in the preseason, I actually really liked what I saw.
Brett Hundley was a 5th round.
Brett Hundley started for the Browns too. Was it Brett Hundley? Oh, it was Deshaun Kaiser. Holy, Deshaun Kaiser was the same draft, wasn't he?
It doesn't look like it. I think he was later. Trevor Siemian was a seventh round pick.
Trevor Siemian played just as good as any of those guys. We got a little bit of movement here for Dallas.
Pull an image of a doll and show us on it where Carr hurt you, Big Rye. I just don't like some of the decision making from Derek Carr. It just doesn't make me believe in him long term. CD time, not sure Dalton knows who CD Lamb is. I think there's a little value on the Steelers to win the Super Bowl at the current odds. They have twice the odds of the Ravens and are a similar quality team. What do you guys think?
That's very interesting. That's a good point. The only thing about if you look at the juice on on Super Bowl futures, it's generally larger than others things. So that's the only thing that I get like stingy about. Let's say is because of that fact, right? Because it's such a square thing betting on the Super Bowl, right?
Sorry, Mickey, I wasn't paying enough attention to see the timeout call. Blitz from the Cardinals.
So he's getting it done on this drive.
Hundley was the Packers' backup. Yeah, that's true, John Stacy. Jackson,
he got traded, though.
There's always going to be. You go ahead.
He got traded. I thought he started somewhere else, like for a few games. Maybe it was the Cardinals. I can't recall.
So with a sack there, I expect a timeout from the Cowboys. And you're 100% on point. He played for the Cardinals in 2019. He played in 3 games, but he never started.
Yes, okay. I thought he was a stopgap for like a few games, and I guess in a way he was. So
And Brett Hundley is the third string backup in Arizona.
Dallas is creeping here. 2nd and goal. I'm not sure of success here. I'm desperate enough though, where you got to make it work here. They only have 1 timeout, but
They go with a screen to Elliott. They lose a yard. But he gets
It's
out
so
of bounds,
weird.
so they still get their timeout. Depending on how this play goes, do you consider going for it on 4th down for the touchdown?
absolutely.
14 yards out, it might be a little bit too much
Yeah,
to
I know,
ask.
but if you get within 6, I think. I don't know. Like, I don't know what they're. Even if you were doing analytics, let's say for the Cowboys, and you had to make this decision, you might not have enough data with Andy Dalton as your quarterback, right? Especially considering Prescott gives you some mobility too in the red zone and anywhere really. Oh,
They rushed 4 and dropped into zone, and he managed to hit Gallup in the end zone, and Gallup just drops it.
he got himself open too. That's just so disappointing.
Hundley sucked. Yeah, I agree, Fat Guy. I just mean in the context of Super Bowl futures, they're a good bet. It just depends how you value the Steelers versus the Ravens. I think the Ravens still are slightly better, but I don't know. Maybe I'm underestimating Roethlisberger.
Yeah, Hundley did suck. There was never a denial of that. Don't worry.
Hassan Reddick was actually under a little pressure this year for Arizona at linebacker. He was a first-round pick out of Temple. He's had a standout game. Typical Dallas fan. Wearing a Yankees mask. Shake my head. Of course, they kicked a field goal. Haha, very true. Gallup has the under 55.5. Yeah, it's that was a costly drop for like a team that can't afford mistakes with how this game's gone so far. Did McCarthy's taking his stuff off, so it looks like nothing's going to come from that scrum.
$21-3. Like, what does 3 points do?
Looks like the Eagles game, deja vu.
Well, I'm curious what adjustments Dallas can make. I feel like I don't know. I think the stuck in 1990 comment was very accurate, right? Like they're like newer coaching philosophies are more willing to throw caution to the wind and are more prepared with like secondary um, radical game plan changes. And I don't know, I just don't see it. The proclivity of or the chance of them coming back are dampened because of old coaching philosophy.
Untouchable jokingly said that McCarthy just got fired.
Maybe Jerry's going to come down there himself and coach him.
He wouldn't have anyone to blame if that was the case. At least they got Booger McFarland's fingers hidden behind a Microsoft Surface or an iPad.
Dude, remember they called it? Surface spent all that money advertising just to have all the announcers call it an iPad.
Yeah, that was good.
I'd be filing a lawsuit, man. You spend money so the competition gets more hype.
Well, you shouldn't leave it up to a bunch of people that don't care about your product to shell out your product. They could have made commercials and stuff if they wanted to. Instead, they went that route.
Yeah, I guess. You do have some fiduciary duty, I would imagine, though, accepting the money to do that. What was this? What was the split, Big Ride? Do you know? Between our viewers?
Let's take a look. You guys are always able to see who's picked who in the contest by if you go to the picks page. 52% of people took Dallas and 47% took the Cardinals. So it's one of those ones where it's an even 50-50 split.
There you go. There's a good reason not to be jazzed about it.
I think anyone who was trying to get the best line that they could probably took Dallas because we had them at 3, even though they closed as small favorites for this game. But I think people who felt like I felt going into the week that Arizona was just the better team without Prescott playing probably jumped on the Cards. So ended up being pretty even, though 50-50 at that 3 points. I thought Chris Berman retired.
I thought they made him retire. Remember though, Chris Berman has some of the best. There's this blooper video of him talking about smuggling drugs from Quebec,
Yeah,
prescription pills.
I all those videos I think are hilarious.
They're all time. They're all time videos.
I
And
think I
then
was
he's
trying to
also like,
find some of them, and I wasn't able to find them.
maybe they took him down. He's like harassing one of the female like interns, like asking her to come have wine with him. It was just awesome. You think of a grosser gremlin than Chris Berman? Oh, oh, but mind you, it's just fantastic. I live for stuff like that. Very funny.
Chris Berman looking rough. Yeah, he looks like he was partying with Aikman and Buck.
Yeah, no one parties that hard.
He works 5 seconds a week now. I think he does the NFL primetime show still too. So there's probably more work than we realize.
What was he like for everyone that watched football when like for a long time? Like, what was Berman like way back when? Like what was the shtick with him? Was he exciting? Was he well liked, or did he just seem crotchety like he does now?
The live lines Cardinals by 13.5.
Berman had a shtick. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was probably it. It was probably refreshing. Maybe like it was probably different. Kind of like how Jimmy the Greek did, from what I understand.
I've always liked Berman. I
I
still
never
like him.
just liked him. It's just he's a little hokey. Oh, here we go, Mandalorian. We don't interrupt this.
Well,
Dude, Carl Weathers is in this. Oh, is Billy D. Williams dead?
oh, Mickey said he can't see anyone else's comments. That's weird. Is it showing up on the stream?
I can see them. I'm logged in on my regular one. I can see them.
I posted the link to Chris Berman talking about smuggling drugs.
Yeah. It's a classic.
I never got the appeal of Berman, just a few catchphrases. Back. See, I'm laughing just thinking about it.
He's in the Hall of Fame, Berman, for that kind of stuff.
You're telling me, like, I'm sure everybody in this chat would want to have a drink with Chris Berman.
Yeah, okay. He falls in the same category as like Gene Okerlund.
Yeah, I'd love to have a drink with Gene Okerlund.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It'd be really
Yeah.
tough now.
Yeah.
Jackson just did a 1 unit on Dallas plus 12.5 at even money, so hoping for an exciting,
Wow.
competitive second half.
The generally the steadfast Jackson Littlewood is gonna put his gambling boots on with a comeback for the Cowboys.
Now you can see it, Mickey. Okay, good.
Okay, so was Carl Weathers in the Mandalorian trailer? Was I wrong? Am I wrong?
He's Gref Karga in the Mandalorian. So Carl Weathers is in the Mandalorian.
I'm a Carl Weathers guy. I gotta be honest.
Zivono said, I imagine line movement influencers who people pick in the contest. Or influences, sorry, not influencers. Definitely. There's excellent value. Yeah. There's excellent value in the contest if you can pick a line that's moved. Like, for instance, there is value at Dallas +3 with how this game closed, even though that might not be the right result, but you're giving yourself like an extra 10% by being on Dallas, theoretically.
Yeah, Mickey did that this week. He got the advantage because the Thursday game. You have to pick on Thursday. So
this was
since
one
there was
of the
no
weeks,
Thursday game, he got to do it late.
Anyone check out that video about Chris Berman talking about smuggling drugs?
I've been playing it in my mind for years.
There's so many. They're all here. Chris Berman is a potty mouth. Chris Berman makes fun of Al Michaels. Chris Berman flirts with Rebecca. Like, how can you not like these? Let's see.
Who's winning in a fist fight, Al Michaels or Chris Berman?
Let me play him making fun of Al Michaels.
All right, where are we? Thanks, Al. Al? Thanks, Al. Al's not far from the North Pole, is he? Thanks, Al. Coming up on our Lexus halftime show, you. Coming up in our second segment, you. You bastard. See you then, Al. Sure you can't wait, you fuckhead.
See you then, Al. Sure you can't wait, you fuckhead. That's what he said. Berman cursing live is the best. Yeah, John. It's I could do it. It's just a lot of extra work. The other thing that I hate too is that people are going to forget to make their picks. Like, people already forget so much to make their picks. If they have to make them on separate days, it's going to be tough. What's going on, Otis? Otis asked a question.
You got a good question.
Hey, Big Rye, can you talk a little bit about your philosophy of the betting market shows? What makes a bet good value? Is it simply there is so little edge that you need to bet opposite public? Well, there's a few different philosophies, or at least historically, betting on sports, where it's good to bet the team that has less public on them, and usually that key number is less than 30% of the public. There's also been positive money made if the line moves against that team. So, for instance, tonight, Dallas opened as 3-point underdogs, but they got bet to -1, which is usually a sign to also bet Dallas. But the best value you can get is to get Dallas at +3, and then hopefully you're on the right side of the line movement. But that's also one of the most the most difficult thing in sports betting is getting those good prices. And then the third and final one is money percentage. So if the money percentage is higher than the bet percentage, that's usually a good sign that there's a sharp money on that side. So those are the three things that I'm looking for: is how much the public is betting, what the line is and how it's moved, and how much money is on each side. And then so I just add those three things up and decide whether it's a 1 unit, 2 unit, or 3 unit play, depending on how many of those things hit.
That was a good answer. It was. I do want to share with everyone under personal life for Chris Berman. This is all it says on his wiki page. Berman married Kathy Alexinski in 1983. She died in a traffic collision in Woodbury on May 10th, 2017. Catherine Berman was driving drunk when she crashed in the back of another vehicle, killing the other driver. The couple has 2 children. That's his whole personal life, is that his wife died in a drunk driving accident. I love Wikipedia. I love the internet. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Berman should have played Tony Soprano's cousin from Connecticut.
I think Berman was born in Connecticut. Yes, he was. Greenwich.
Yeah, like Mickey said, Dallas was the right play doesn't mean it wins. So what he means there is, like, Dallas from moving from +3 to -1 is like a 10% swing. So theoretically, there's a 60% chance that Dallas would cover +3 and a 40% chance they wouldn't. But that doesn't mean that the 40% doesn't hit. And you can definitely ask the fat guy who plays poker all the time, and like 40% of the time is going to hit 40% of the time.
Yeah, and it's the hardest way to make an easy living, right? But it's like anything. It's like investing, just that the maturation date is a lot sooner. So you're going to have a lot of variance. You can have all the right moves, Tom Cruise, but that's a good movie, by the way. But I mean, you're still at the mercy of luck in some instances. But the idea is to beat it with volume. If you do the right thing enough times, the numbers will sort itself out. You're going to have weeks where you don't lose, and you're going to have weeks where you get crushed. It's just kind of how it works. Yeah, it's not easy money, but if you're patient, it can be fruitful over the years. Because don't forget, your portfolio will grow as you grow, and then you'll be able to make larger wagers and thus more money. So that was pretty rudimentary explanation, but it's what I got here on the fly. That being said, the Cowboys are driving and making Jackson Littlewood look like a genius here.
Otis, I'm definitely glad that you came to ask some of these questions, because it's sometimes when I'm making the videos, I forget like what people know, what they don't know. These are kind of like rules that we make, and we forget to mention them all the time. So I'm super glad you joined the stream to ask these questions. And there's an interception. Targeting CD Lamb. It looked like Lamb fell down, and Dre Kirkpatrick with the pick, former Cincinnati Bengal.
Former first round pick. I like Dre Kirkpatrick. He didn't get very much buzz in the offseason. I found it interesting that they paid a lot of money to Trey Waynes and let him go. And I don't think he's getting compensated nearly on that level. I mean, maybe their quarterback play is considerably different, but I'm not so sure. Excuse me.
Very Mensa-like, Jackson. It's going to be hard for me not to binge watch all this Berman stuff after the show.
Well, that's what we designed to do. Otis, I can comment on that. Otis, the it's a new thing, and I have some theories behind it. I don't think they're sucker bets, and I actually think you should take advantage. I'm assuming that you're in. Are you in New Jersey, Otis?
Yeah, I would have said yes. He's in New Jersey. I'm actually not that aware of Odds Boost. I know Fat Guy's talked about it before, so he knows more about it than I do.
A good friend of mine that we exchange gambling advice on. He used to be a professional poker player. Used to be the best Omaha player in the world, believe it or not. He's from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. So I talk to him almost every day about this kind of stuff, and we've examined Odds Boost a little bit together. And what we think is it's a way, because the limits are so low on those, that it's a way for DraftKings, which is assuming, which is what you're talking about, they're trying to capture the market a little bit more and making it more enticing. It's kind of like lowering prices, like having a door crasher. I don't think they're sucker bets, and they usually have about a $50 maximum, and you should take them. And if you can afford to do the $50 max, you should do them, because I don't think these are going to last very long. Because, for instance, they'll boost you, Big Rye, 50 points. Like, say the bet's at plus 150, they'll
Yeah.
give you a boost of plus 200 up to $50.
Oh yeah, that's tremendous value. So
Yeah, that's what they do.
just be aware
And
of what the odds are and the payouts are, and just make sure you're doing your math to decide if it's the right play to make. But if it's what the Fat Guy's saying, then that's going to be positive expected value for most plays. If they're going to give you that many points on like a plus 150 to plus 200, it usually means that you're at least getting even money or possibly better.
Well, my secondary theory is they're using New Jersey as a test market for the rest of the United States, trying to figure out, like, because think about this: if they do stuff like that and they're able to retake the market away from some of the other gambling options and becoming the primary book, then they're, it's like customer acquisition cost. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it gets you in the door.
Yeah, so that's what me and my friend from New Jersey are surmising that they're probably doing, because there's other books in New Jersey, and they've been the most active in offering those types of bets here. And the limits are $50 is very small to a pro better, so they don't really care about those people. But a square better, that'll definitely make the difference. And I would take advantage. I would bet every boost that they have. I would literally take it. Holy, have they moved the ball nicely here, Arizona?
Yeah, for things like that, it's going to be tougher to do. So I'd say for things like that, like especially like the long odds like that, it's just safer to leave it alone. But if there's anything closer, like to an even bet, there's
I was talking about the spreads and like the Giants and stuff. Like, my friend said they often boost a lot of the Giants odds, which I imagine is to get the local public betting, considering it's New Jersey, right? Yeah, there's still probably value on it, but Big Rye is right. It's better to be safe, and I'm not sure your bankroll, what it's like, right? Because $50 will, if your bankroll is 500, then you're at the mercy of a high variance for some of these things. So I don't know if 4.5 to 1 is right. What you can do is compare with other books, figure out what the juice would be on a standard proposition bet. It's usually minus it's usually 1/5. And if it's greater than that, then there's probably positive expected value. So you could do it. You could quantify it by comparatively, by comparing different books and seeing if there is a significant more more juice on something like that. You're in a unique position. New Jersey is what seems to be the testing ground from the United States, from what I think. Wow, Murray finishing that run strong. What an interesting play. I thought that was going to come around to Christian Kirk. Hey, really appreciate it, Otis. Yeah. Glad you had those are really, really good questions, and we love answering stuff like that.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Otis. It's really nice of you to say that. I'm trying to look at what Kyler Murray's like touchdowns are for his career. For some reason, I can't find how many rushing touchdowns he had last year.
That can't be right. I hope it's Drake time. I realize I'm in a fantasy nail biter out of nowhere because of the lack of points between Murray and Elliott. That's who I'm up against. And I've got a considerable lead thanks to Derrick Henry in another league.
Looks like he's had 9 rushing touchdowns in 21 games.
Such a small sample, so difficult to give that weight. Flag coming in. This will help Drake. Yeah, Eagles did open at 7. I'm just going off the top of my head. I'm trying to take a look here too. 6.5, 6.5. And it's down to 4, yeah. And there's Murray with another rushing touchdown. Would have made Otis's plus 450 look pretty good.
Yeah, that Murray rushing touchdown is super helpful for Mickey.
I got to hold off 9 points here between Murray and Murray and Elliott for the rest of the game. It's possible, actually. That touchdown hurts, though. Well, I mean, like if you were going to do it really crudely, 9 and 21 is
42% divided by 2.
divided by 2.
Like very, very crudely.
It's very, yeah, very crudely. I'm going to go with Lewin, Indy, but that's a great question. So compared to the impact on both teams,
You know what, though? Like, both those guys have very big impacts on their team. Those are both guys that don't come off the field for snaps unless they get injured or the game is out of reach. Like, but it's so tough. It's so tough for those teams to bring in guys, too, to fill in. The one thing is Tennessee did draft a tackle or swing tackle.
he's a right tackle, though, and he hasn't seen the field yet for a variety of reasons.
And
Isaiah Wilson.
Taylor Lewan is paid a lot of money for a reason. Like, he's a hard guy to replace.
He played through injury that game too.
John has an interesting point here. He said Dallas doesn't need this game. They're still in first place. That's why records matter, in my opinion. That's the one thing about the NFL compared to other leagues too, is that just games mean a lot more. So I know what you mean. Like maybe in the back of their mind, a couple of these players think like, oh, we still lead the division, but like they need to win games. All these teams need to win games. You don't really have the opportunity to take games off.
You might have been sarcastic there too. There's always that.
Jackson just needs 2 unanswered touchdowns. Dallas is leading Dallas's division. They're the only team with 2 wins. Untouchable J, I'm only down 2. Definitely not over. Josh Allen said, you think Vegas takes a somewhat significant consideration for the totals, whether it's dome or outdoor? That Bills-Chief game could have been a higher scoring game. They take everything into consideration when they're setting those lines. Everything.
Sometimes
Josh.
weather can change though, and then usually someone's on it when the weather report comes out. I have a friend he pretty much just bets totals, and a lot of it is connected to his weather model. So, because sometimes the weather model is it's not super accurate until right before, or not before, until like I think it's 5.5 days before. Because anyways, there are definitely ways to handicap that kind of stuff too. So it's a full-time job, that's for sure.
Sam, off the top of my head, I think it's 7-9. I don't think has there ever been a 6-10 team?
Nope. 7-8-1. I thought
Yeah, I was gonna say it's either 7-9 or 7-8-1. Was it the Seahawks? Didn't the Seahawks have that?
They played the Rams for the division, and I think they were 7-8-1.
And that was the year they beat the Saints, or
Correct.
upset the Saints. Wasn't that the Marshawn Lynch that run game?
It certainly was.
Wonder who Dylan's terrorizing now. Probably his sugar daddy. That's how he's making that 10K to make those bets.
Yeah, that's big money.
Josh Allen says, because I like Texans versus Packers/Lions, or Texans versus Packers and Lions versus Falcons. Overs at 56 because they're both in domes. It's at least safe. Like it takes the weather out of it, Josh. So it's definitely safer for the books to set lines. And I haven't looked at the numbers. I'm sure historically teams, well, I shouldn't say I'm sure, but I would assume that dome games are probably higher scoring. But that also, like, because of the offenses that have played in domes, like the Saints and Falcons.
Be back in just a moment.
Okay. Carolina was 7-8-1. Dylan's going to Pound Town on himself. Catch by Cooper. So a nice thing that you've got going for you, Jackson, is that it looks like the Cardinals are just going to play off coverage for the rest of this game. Dylan's probably eating pizza and wings that he hustled off some poor internet victim. Yeah, this game's at 31, but if this is how Arizona's going to play defense for the second half, like this over probably will hit. Like it owes him money. Pollard with a drop. Second and 10 for the Cowboys. They're spreading it out 5 wide. Elliott's been quick to get out of bounds this game.
Man, who's it? Lance Reddick getting very emotional about Andy Dalton needing to have good performance.
I feel like Wilson is trying to sell this to get a flag.
It's not unreasonable.
I like what Jackson said here. Domino should hire Dylan as a chief chef. Sounds like he knows what he's talking about with buttered and seasoned crust.
Yes.
Yeah, Untouchable, seeing what I saw, he said these receivers looking for calls like hockey players.
Cup your eye. Now, the old coach Gordon Bombay.
Dylan's going American Pie on that pizza. Bite your lip to draw blood. Isn't that one of the best rules? If you get hit in the stick, you're hit in the face with a stick in hockey, it's a 2-minute penalty. But if you're bleeding, it's a 4-minute penalty.
Yeah, yeah.
It's actually better for your team to get cut than not cut.
I think Josh Allen has a good one. Does Vegas Raiders versus Tampa Bay have game of the week potential? 5-star game or Bucks route? I think it has game of the week potential. Vegas is definitely is capable of laying a dud. So is Tampa Bay for that matter. They've had a couple bad ones. They laid a dud on primetime twice already, both against the Saints and the Bears on Monday and Thursday night respectively. Oh, that was close.
Aren't the Raiders coming off a bye? Like, did they play this week? So that's a plus for the Raiders. It's a plus that they're at home. Like, these are things keeping it closer. The Bucks have to travel to Las Vegas, which isn't it's not a short trip. I've bet a little bit of NHL, but we definitely have done the most research and most homework on the NFL. Yeah. We there's nothing that we should do or say that's gonna be confident in us to help you guys become a better NHL better as far as picking teams is concerned. And stuff with like NHL and MLB that's difficult is that there's different goalies, like there's starting goalies, starting pitchers. It makes it tougher.
The one thing is I can say baseball is the most intriguing to me is number one because of the volume, number two because they have the lowest holds, the lowest commissions on baseball, and then number three is Vegas historically makes the least amount of money on baseball, the least amount. So that makes me think that there's more potential to beat it with a bigger bankroll. Whoa. That was brutal.
58-yard attempt. Not
Well,
easy.
that was a field goal, and that wasn't good.
Even for Zerline.
That looked like his field goal at the end of the Super Bowl against the Pats. John Stacy's got a very interesting point. That New Vegas nightlife might be the other new home field advantage. There's always that chance. I mean, there's
It's happened in the NHL.
it's happened here. Guys getting wrecked at nightclubs here.
It's happened in Vancouver as well for Canucks.
That was always a lot of my family worked in the nightclub industry, and that was always one of the things. Is not only some Canucks that go out too much, but I mean other. God, who was it? I think it was the Wild used to go out as a whole team every time they came to Vancouver. So I went drinking all night. So I mean that's something.
Well, I remember someone did a study on James Harden and spreads based off of strip clubs, how many strip clubs were in the city, and there was some correlation to the study.
That makes sense too. Is there a Jets line yet? I think it's 10.5. I know a friend that's bet Jets -10 already. Or sorry, Bills -10. Yeah, and it looks like it's moved then. So I think it opened at 10.5.
It's up to 12.5. Yeah, said Josh
Yeah.
Allen as well. As I see that here. That's at FanDuel, New Jersey, and William Hill. It's
William Hill doesn't. William Hill is quick to ban, just to give everyone a heads up.
I actually think Giants-Eagles is going to be an entertaining game. Even though those are two teams that people probably don't want to watch, I think that's going to be a close game. Is Arizona running a hurry-up offense? Up 25. And good. Murray stays in bounds.
I'm surprised they're not being more conservative. The Cardinals.
It's interesting that they were very conservative on defense, and now they're fairly aggressive on offense.
No, I have not. That's been a fun game around here. Oh, yeah, not a problem there either. God, guys are so ugly and the women are so much better looking. What happened? There you go. Big loss for the Cardinals. They're going to have to punt. I got a deal, Drake, man. Relax. Holy. What do you want for him? I think CeeDee Lamb's got a chance here, Jay.
When is the New York Jets Monday night game?
Hate the Drake. Sam with a nice Seinfeld callback. I don't know.
It's Patriots Jets on November 9th.
That'll be standard probably.
God, yikes. Yikes. Vance Joseph loving life right now. Gotta be confident in his defense right now. Yeah, hopefully. No, every team has to get one primetime game. Yeah. I guess maybe they could fake a virus thing. I have watched that before, Sam. Seinfeld, no laugh track.
Just anything without a laugh track is hilarious. Laugh track's like one of the worst things ever invented. It'd be like piping in crowd. Oh, wait a minute.
It's not true, Josh. Meaning that not it. You have to get. I thought every team has to get a Thursday, Monday, or a Sunday, and they usually get a Thursday, like the bad ones do.
I thought it was after a certain week they could start flexing games.
But it's not Monday. You don't flex Monday Night Football though. This is Sunday night.
No, it's the Sunday night game that's usually flexed.
I'm pretty sure the other way. I mean, I could be wrong.
I know it was something new that they implemented. Like it wasn't true a few years ago, but I remember they started doing that.
They switched it because the Browns never used to.
I was looking it over. I think the Chiefs only have 2 more primetime games, which I was kind of surprised by.
Jets did have a Thursday. Yes, I thought that was the only one. Yeah. Somehow they're going to get 2, it looks like.
Sam said worst ever shaking cameras in action movies. And it looks like the Jets had a Thursday night game already versus Denver. They can flex out teams, not in. Every team plays on a Thursday to make it fair because no one wants to play on Thursday. Oh, okay. I guess that's what it is then.
So it's maybe incidentally they do.
And the Jets still have a pretty big market, like a pretty big following, so I can see why they're scheduled to play. It's just so happens that they're god awful. At least next week there's 4 midday games.
Big play from Lamb.
Put a flag on the play.
Flacco is the starter. At least he started last game. I mean, who knows at this point?
They should replace Thursday games with Tuesday games.
Jay is getting frustrated with Mickey's points to CeeDee Lamb. I did mention that though. He would be a good target to come back because he'll have a lot of single coverage compared to the other two.
That's got to be a fumble.
Baker with another play. I don't know what that was. He's playing with a club on his hand, what looks like. Looks like Pollard missed it. Dude, and he snuck in there too. Like he went really low. That's a nice play. I like Budda Baker. I don't know if I like him more than Jonathan Abrams from the Raiders, but it's been a very good game for him.
Well, they've got someone at left tackle named Knight. I don't even know a lot of these names I'm seeing.
Well, they're 4 replacements, Big Rye. Collins and Tyron Smith are out for the year.
Brandon Knight's the starting left tackle, and Terrence Steele, both UDFAs over the last 2 seasons. That's trouble. And you said Zach Martin went out hurt?
Yeah, and Zach Martin went out hurt. Correct. Lale Collins and Tyron Smith are done for the year.
This is just a
bad.
shell of an offensive line that we're used to seeing in Dallas.
It's straight bad.
Josh Allen said the Buffalo Bills didn't have a primetime game last year unless they got flexed into one at the end of the season.
They would have had a Thursday. Primetime is considered Thursday for me as well, even though I guess maybe that's where the disagreement is.
Never heard of Will Capper.
Oh, I watch Whale Capper. I have. He's very interesting. It's like a super wealthy guy, Big Rye, that does these huge parlays. At least that's the way that they portray it. I don't know what's like. It's like cinema verita. Like, I don't know what's real and what isn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I see him doing projections and taking sides and totals that he likes. That's good. Seems like he's doing some research.
This is Jerry Jones's birthday. This is great. I don't know. I don't know why I'm, in having a Schadenfreude moment, but I don't know. There's something about this.
Well, either way, he's put together the most winning team in the division.
Okay, there's a positive to draw. He can cheers to that, I guess. Budda Baker's from Bellevue, not far from us. See you, Jackson. Have a good one.
Have a good night, Jackson. We'll hope for that backdoor cover for you. 4th and 11 here, and the Cowboys are going for it. And it's completed to CeeDee Lamb.
No, I think it's Noah Brown.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Dude, Lamb is lighting it up right now.
Oh, man.
Wow. Dude, this has got to be one of the best games ever for a DB, in my opinion.
Buda Baker's definitely been making plays.
I think it's bigger than that. Like, how many sacks, how many pressures, pass breakups, and interception? It's a Charles Woodson game. Holy. Oh, you might get it, Jay.
At this point in the game, I got a feeling you're going to see Chase Edmonds carrying the ball.
I'm curious what they're gonna do with Murray. Like, I don't know. You could actually pull him, to be honest.
It's going to be hard pressed for the Cowboys to score 28, 31, 35 points. The over-under is still in play, though, between Cassone and Billy 369. Anything under 49 goes to Cassone, but anything 50 to 54 is Billy 369. Anything 55 and over, we're going to have a wheel spin with Billy 369 again.
I love wheel spins, so I mean, I'm almost rooting for that.
What's the score right now? 28 to 3, so it's 31. So it's looking like Cassone. I can't trust Smoke Show Cliff. Hell no, you can't. Wow.
These replays are suspect.
Did they bring it back? Did they say he was touched?
Yeah, by the fingertips of Cooper, who was trying to score. Oh, it's 28-3. The Cardinals are crushing the Cowboys, and it looks to be all but over. But
Yeah, there's
the
13
Cardinals also
minutes.
got an interception, Dom.
13 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Cardinals are on their own 10-yard line. Drake looks tired. Give him a break.
I can see Edmonds. Baker looks tired. I'll give you that. Four turnovers for the Cowboys.
It's not a recipe for success.
Did it fall apart? Yeah. $28-3. That is a score. Four turnovers to the Cowboys.
Buda Baker's the highest paid safety in NFL history.
And this game is putting a statement on that because that was a suspect play. Oh, John Stacy having Vietnam flashbacks to a time when the Atlanta Falcons were up 28-3 in the Super Bowl. His fabled Atlanta Falcons. The corner burned or something? Is the corner burned or something? All of them.
Well, Drake is racking up touches here in the fourth quarter. More like Cry Boys.
Well, Tom, sometimes you lose. That's really it.
Oh, no.
No, they're probably not going to cover. They just got a huge game, the Cardinals did, from DeAndre Hopkins after the catch. No one was on him. He got tackled by his ankles at the 10-yard line. This isn't Nom. It's football. There are rules. Absolutely. I guess that's my line, Mickey. I'm Walter. Big Rise Donnie. I'll tell you what, though. I wouldn't be watching my ex-wife's dog, though. There's no way. Overall, I don't know. You probably lose a little bit. You probably break even. It's never that simple. It's a show dog with papers, Mickey. Still going for it, eh? Not running the clock out, just throwing fades to Hopkins. I need the Cowboys to stop so I can win my fantasy. It's very close. I'm only up 4 points. And he's got Murray and Elliott. It's close. What are the Cowboys against the spread? Probably not very good here. Let me just take a quick gander. They didn't cover against the Rams. They didn't cover against the Falcons. They didn't cover against Seattle, the Browns, or the Giants. This will be 0-6. Dylan Clark, 28-3. You all know what that means. Yeah, there was a bit more time left on the clock, and now it's 31. No, I don't think they covered at all. They were close to covering against Seattle, and they didn't. The Rams, it depends on the line. Week 1, there was a line where I think Rams were favored by 3, so you could have got a push, but I don't think they covered it at all. 40-39, Atlanta were significant underdogs. 38-31. I'm pretty sure that line was 6, and they lost by 7. Cleveland Browns, they were 4-point favorites. They lost outright. Giants, they were heavy favorites. They won by 3. And Arizona, they were small favorites closing line. They didn't cover. So obviously depending on line, but yeah. There's no team that never covers. This year is perhaps,
both the Cowboys and the Jets haven't covered a game.
Yeah, there you go.
They're both 0-6. And if you want to talk about bad coaching, that's how you can tell how teams do against the spread is a pretty good indicator of how well a coach is doing.
I don't think the next the next Bill Parcells or Jimmy Johnson wants to work for Jerry Jones. But don't forget, Arizona hasn't exactly been lighting the world on fire, despite a really impressive Week 1 win as 7-point underdogs against San Francisco. It's there's going to be somebody. 0-6 is rare though against the spread. 0-6 is incredibly rare to start the season. That makes me want the lines are going to have to get inflated to a high level though. So there's a chance they're going to come back a little bit from that.
What's going on, Fear? How you doing tonight? Yeah, I think 12.5, Tom, was the best line you can get right now.
It opened at 10.5. Yeah, did you do both sides? Yeah, flip it. Could you pour the juice in a saucepan, please?
Without the menu.
I mean, probably Mickey. They're just so bad, though. It's really hard to put your money on that. Some years of doing this, but they might get like a serious inflation, like 5 points a game type thing.
Well, double-digit underdogs. Not that home field advantage is a huge difference, but double-digit underdogs at home, it's going to be hard to pass them up.
They're not going to give it to him.
You know what's interesting this year is like measurements are kind of out the window. I don't remember seeing very many measurements this year.
Oh, they're bad. They're bad. No one has said the Jets are good. The worst team in the league. One of the worst offenses ever. Oh, absolutely. And that's against a defense that's really young and not even there yet, to be honest.
Sounds like a good weekend, Fear. And yeah, the rain definitely saved you. It was different watching those offenses in that weather today.
Great run game from the Chiefs today, though. What a versatile offense. Oh, I'll take the over on half a game, Sam, all day. I think they'll win a game. Don't forget, this time this year, they said the same thing about the Dolphins.
It's going to be hard for the Jets to be favored in any game, but to not win a game it's tough. Mickey Hill
I agree
wants
with what Mickey said.
Yeah, do away with the chains.
Yeah, they sure did. 2 weeks in a row they did, Tom, to be honest.
The Bills had a couple interesting healthy scratches. I know Trent Murphy was one of them. Cowboys have been putting themselves in these holes, and this is usually where Dak can at least get them some points, but it's just not the same. It's just not going to be the same offense with Dalton.
Yeah, there was a difference. Miami knew they were bad. Well, what do you want to bet? How much do you want to bet? Like you said that they won't win. You said they likely won't. So you're telling me it's a favorite. So let's just do even money then. I'm over half. You're under a half. 200.
Well, they play Bills and Chiefs and Patriots the next 3 weeks. Those are all going to be large underdogs for the Jets. They play the Chargers in LA in 4 weeks. That's not going to be easy. They play the Dolphins again, which isn't great. They play the Raiders, which they're going to be underdogs. They play the Seahawks. They play the Rams. They play the Browns, and they play the Patriots.
Plus 350, get real. Miami does have a good coach. Flores I think, has done just an incredible job. He should have perhaps been coach of the year last year.
I'd say the weakest teams they play are the Chargers,
Dolphins.
Raiders, and Browns.
I don't. Dolphins at home is it's possible. Let's see what this penalty is. Well, Darnold's not even playing, so Indy, I don't even know. Yeah, you just heat it up and then you slowly add like corn. Yeah, or you can use flour, yeah. Just you gotta whisk it in really well. Well, maybe look it up. I'm not sure. I don't do this often. No, I didn't. I love. Was he naked though? Was the fan naked? It's always better when the naked fan gets tackled. Oh, it was a PETA protester. That's even better. I gotta find this video though.
I think the Jets are going to be touchdown underdogs in every game going forward.
Yeah.
Wow, Mickey's here making assumptions.
It is possible, Tom. Like all of it's possible. It's technically possible they could win outright. Just the likelihood is in the millions, though, right? So possibly billions. He was a she. Don't assume, Mickey. Well, that's what I like doing, Indy. Indy's got a good thing. I like just staying away from the best and the worst, and I like betting on the middle. I mean, I'll put some sprinkles in here and there, but I've lost money. Like I lost money on the Bengals last year, and they weren't even all time bad. Like they're bad. Finkel is Einhorn, right? No, it's Einhorn is Finkel. We were talking about that, Tom. I don't know. What I honestly think is appropriate is 21. Even though they're at home or they're on the road. Oh, yeah, 21 and a half. I don't know, a lot.
I think 17 and a half.
I'm saying 21 and a half because I'm trying to think of what would make me bet them. 21 and a half is enticing. It was a lady for real, I swear. I hope Pollard is in there, not Elliott. This is going to hurt me. This touchdown in fantasy. See number 20, not number 21. Oh, Elliott. I see Elliott. Well, that's a good start. Mickey convinced that Kenyon Drake is tired. I want to see this chick get tackled. Another flag. Oh, they're going to give Elliott this touchdown. My fantasy hopes rest on this in a money league on whether Elliott gets this try. Oh, they have him out a receiver. He's against a linebacker. Oh, they're bringing him in. This is an ugly offense.
Oh, this angle, I got it. There must be another angle because this angle sucks.
It's a good weekend, Tom.
I can't believe the Cowboys are going to like back to back to back fades here in the end zone.
This reminds me of the Super Bowl with who was it, the Crabtree 4 in a row? There's a guy that's like crying in the stands pretty much. His girlfriend's kissing him. That's a little wimpy. Excuse you. Might as well kick a field goal here. When you're dressed up in the cowboy pimp outfit, that's gotta hurt.
Congrats, Tom. 4-1 on picks is really good.
That was a big hit. Are they dragging her? Oh, yes. Great stuff. Don't let him get in. What's that? Oh. It might be really good. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Did you add anything to it or no? Leave the rest. This is pretty good.
No, you can use such.
Aren't all pimps and cowboy hats? No, they have like that long, I don't know what it is, the floppy one. Oh, I got 2 points. 2 points I'm ahead in fantasy. I don't know if this is going to last. He's got Kyler Murray and Elliott.
This is how pimps look.
Elliott. What's that? Oh, is it? Who do you have up there? Who? What's that guy's name? Is he alive still? That wrestler?
The Godfather?
Yes,
I don't know.
he's a wrestler, so chances are no.
Kind of looks like Sinbad. Charles Wright.
I don't know. He looked like he could kick Sinbad's ass. He was Papa Shango as well.
Yep.
Dude, he's 6'6", 330. That's wrestling height, so.
It's probably the same height as me. Indy, for the most part, we make picks together. I love the positivity of the color commentator, whatever his name is. The stick. Yeah, I had Bucks, Bears, Niners, Falcons. Only loss was the Browns. Yeah, I think the Browns burnt a few people this week. Dallas should build on this. Who do we like this week? Your only lean is San Fran. We're going to be doing the picks video tonight, so we're going to do a little research and look into it, Sam. Fear was a big fan of The Godfather. Tom Hood knows pimpin' ain't easy. You know what was savage this week? They were comparing who did Indy play this week? Did they play the Chargers? No, they played the Bengals. So they were comparing Joe Burrow to Phillip Rivers. And you know what one of the stats was they put up? They put up
Children.
They put up Joe Burrow has 0 kids and Phillip Rivers has 9.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it made no sense.
They're just taking it to a new level.
Oh, it was like Antonio Cromartie level of savage when it comes to.
Well, there's one difference, though. He knows the names of his children, whereas Antonio Cromartie doesn't. The new one. Antonio Cromartie we had so much back payments and child support when he was on. This isn't even a joke. When he was on the Chargers, that the Jets had to pay, I think it was $500,000 for him to leave California.
That's awesome. Yeah, Tom, you're definitely going to get inconsistencies with the Browns. The Browns are still a good team, though. Average, maybe slightly above average. I know it's highly unlikely they come back, but you're definitely not making a comeback in this game if you're using timeouts like that. They announced that Mayfield is going to be the starter for next week, barring injury. Yeah, Baker Mayfield is he's not my favorite player. He's definitely not the fat guy's favorite player. He had a good rookie season, and there's just been no progression ever since.
We sure did, Indy.
Yeah, Indy. That was such a nice backdoor cover. I mentioned it yesterday too. Like I turned that game off. Like I was looking at all the scores and all the games, and I figured that was one of the ones that, like, I just wrote off the Eagles, and they somehow managed to mount a comeback. Yeah, And the coaching is good in Cleveland. Like Stefanski has been good this to start the year, but as far as Mayfield's play is definitely sporadic. You don't know what you're going to get from Mayfield.
Mickey
And
said it best, fourth best QB in his division. I completely
Yeah.
agree with that.
The Browns have to dominate the line of scrimmage to win games, and they lost the line of scrimmage battle last game, and it showed. Just shows how fragile they are without that strong offensive line play.
But look, they also did it against Baltimore. Baltimore smoked them in the same scenario.
AP said, I took the Ravens because I wanted to be right instead of make money. We haven't seen a lot of those backdoor covers lately, and like if you're a 7-point or higher favorite, like it's easy for teams to come back and cover. Like we saw it
Yeah,
again
'cause
today
you
with
let
the
'em.
Chiefs Bills. Like the teams do let teams come back into games. Like we even just saw it on that last drive with the Cowboys. Like the Cowboys are down a lot, but it doesn't matter at that point if you're up 30 or if you're up 10. Like it's still a 2-possession game, and with onside kicks so tough to recover, teams just sit back and try to waste as much clock as they can.
Unless you're Atlanta, then you just give it away.
Yeah. later untouchable.
I think he means Dylan Todd Field.
Yeah, he's definitely not talking about Dylan Clark, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't like how he panicked against the Steelers. He was like a chicken with his head cut off, and you've seen it from Mayfield. Like the fat guy and I watch the Browns pretty closely, and like there just hasn't been that progression in Mayfield. Like Mayfield looks like a rookie quarterback when he's scrambling around and making those plays, and it's tough when you see other quarterbacks in the league that are able to scramble around and make those plays. But I don't know. Mayfield
He can't throw on the run either.
Yeah, he gets flustered very easily. And you know what was ironic is that when he first came in, we actually really liked how he moved around in the pocket and made space and time for himself to make those throws. And I haven't seen that from him over the last few years. Like I feel like that was something that he excelled in as a rookie, and it just hasn't been there.
Indy's right. That fumble that wasn't. I mean, that could have just as easily been a turnover, and then there you go. I mean, the Bills could have even won that game, right? Because the incentive when you're the favorite isn't to cover; it's just to win the game, right?
Well, there's a huge Kenyon Drake play.
Oh my!
Oh, it doesn't look like he actually left. 69-yard touchdown run. That hey, what can I trade for Drake? Well, that definitely seals up the game in our Yahoo League.
Did you get it?
Yeah. I was gonna
Why would
win
you
without. I was gonna win that without it. Ross.
He beat Ross. He's beat choked. That's perfect. I need to beat Warren. I can't get Elliott any more points. I'm up 2. He's only completed 9 passes. What?
Murray.
Yeah. 38-10, Tom.
You know what kind of sucks about that touchdown is that if Murray goes down, if Drake goes down, that game's over.
Yeah, I know, that's so funny. 9 for 24.
Even his passing numbers, I was looking at Murray's passing numbers, they haven't been very strong.
9 for 24 though is horrible, but I mean, like, that's the thing that usually when you throw for 500 yards, you lose, right? Usually when you throw for 100 and 180, you're winning.
Yeah.
Running the ball is so important.
Well, the real story of this game is the turnovers from Dallas. They're going to lose by 4 scores, and those 4 turnovers led to points for Arizona that would have definitely changed the game if Dallas put up those points instead.
Yeah, but they're not even capable of that.
Dallas honestly should come out and just kneel. Like,
Yeah.
this game's done. I don't know why you would do anything other than that. Looks like Dallas has all backups in. So, Fat Guy, you are going to
I'm going to win.
win.
Are you in first now?
I think we all have the same record at the top, so I don't know.
I have the lowest points at the top, though.
You're still going to be a game behind.
Yeah, I have the lowest points, though, in that tier 2 or whatever. I haven't had a healthy roster the whole year. Just leave it. Holy.
It's nice that you won this week because of all the buys that you had.
Well, I had 4 Patriots players I couldn't even play. For how long?
Yeah.
And then Adams was hurt, and I was still winning.
It's good.
Yeah, we'll take it. That's a money league. It's 1K up top. I just had the best piece of roasted garlic I've ever had.
Nice.
Now I see when the total was 55. It wasn't because Andy Dalton was going to score 24.
Is that what someone said? Yeah.
Wow. Is this defense worse than that? Was it the New Orleans Saints defense?
38-10 is actually a very key number for Cassone, who not only went 11-2-1 this week, but was also 1 point off the over-under.
Was it over or under, though?
It was 48 and he had 49.
Yeah, but it's Price is Right rules, Big Rye.
Yeah. Closest to without going over, so he was perfect.
No, he can't go
48?
over. Oh, it was 49. He had 48?
The score of the game was 48 and he had it over under 49.
Yeah, he went over the total. So it's a tie. So it's a spin the wheel.
But he never went over.
He has 49 and the total was 48.
Yeah. So
You get it?
closest to the number without going over. So he went over. So now we have
Yes.
to spin the wheel?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I can't keep up with this.
Guys, can you say something to Big Rye? He's never watched Price is Right.
Yeah, Jake Jacobs said it already, the wheel.
The wheel, yeah. fun ones.
Did you guys like the spin on the last video we had to do the spin on? I thought it was one of the funnier things the fat guy and I have done on video at least. Well, obviously, I wasn't watching Price is Right. Dallas has been giving up 39 points a game, and Jerry Jones is wearing 3 masks so people don't recognize him. You like that slow roll? John Stacy definitely hated it. All right. Yeah, it's tougher, Indy. We've been putting him at the end of the Bob Barker's beauties. We've been putting the wheels at the end of the video now. There's only been one wheel this year, so this is going to be the second one. And I'm pretty sure Billy369 was part of both wheels. Can you imagine if Dallas actually makes the playoffs at 7-9? Oh, I can definitely imagine it.
There we go. Bob Barker's beauties, yeah, absolutely. You ready to work on this, Big Rye?
Yeah, we've most of it's ready to go.
Well, 2.2 points, John Stacy. You couldn't glean a little bit more out of Elliott?
That's too bad, John. Have a good night, Mickey. Your matchup was a pretty exciting one today. Unfortunately, it came out on the wrong end. Dak would have had to throw for 500 yards to win that game. Yep.
He might have done it, though. That's the difference.
All right, guys, we're going to end the stream so Fat Guy and I can work on this video, and then it's going to be out tomorrow morning. I'll post it at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. Pacific time, so it'll be out at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. Eastern time. But appreciate everyone stopping by, watching the stream with us, and look forward to catching you guys next Sunday night.
Cheers, gentlemen. Thank you.